Hello, welcome to Quiz Time. I'm Jess and I'm your host today for 50 general knowledge questions. So let's get that brain matter in working order and see how we go. Who was the artist behind the popular 1984 song titled All Cried Out? Lisa and Cult Jam, Alison Moyet or Cyndi Lauper? It was Alison Moyet. Which president of the United States was not elected to two separate terms that were not consecutive? Grover Cleveland, Woodrow Wilson or James Madison? Grover Cleveland. Who invented the first handheld mobile phone, commonly known as the brick phone, in 1973? Grace Hopper, Wilson Greatbatch or Martin Cooper? Martin Cooper. What is the protagonist Winston Smith's job in the party's government apparatus in the novel 1984? Managing party finances, rewriting historical records or making propaganda campaigns? Rewriting historical records. In what year were the first direct dial phones introduced in the US? 1951, 1963 or 1959? (1951). What was gel 0123? A hair gel, a shampoo sachet or a gelatin dessert? A gelatin dessert. True or false? The FIFA World Cup took place in Germany in the year 1978. False, it was actually Argentina. Who painted the famous artwork Campbell's Soup Cans in the 1960s? Jackson Pollock, Andy Warhol or Roy Lichtenstein? Andy Warhol. Who was the founder of Whitney's Lindy Hoppers? Herbert Whitty's White, Charles Whitty Ford or Joseph Whitty Bulger? It was Herbert Whitty White. Where in New York City was Savoy Plaza Hotel located? Central Park West, Fifth Avenue or Times Square? Fifth Avenue. Who composed the famous symphony, Symphony No. 9? Ludwig van Beethoven, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart or Johann Sebastian Bach? Ludwig van Beethoven. When was the Chevy Nova reproduced again for 2 years after being discontinued in 1979? 1981, 1984 or 1985? 1985. Who says what you see is what you get from the Flip Wilson Show? Geraldine Jones, Flip Wilson or Reverend Leroy? Geraldine Jones. No multiple choice. What is the official language of Brazil? It's Portuguese. Did you get that one? Which city hosted the Summer Olympics in 1968? Tokyo, Mexico City or London? Mexico City. Which album by Michael Jackson is the best-selling album of all time? Thriller, Bad or Off the Wall? It's Thriller. Have you got that album? When were Pound Puppies launched? 1987, 1982 or 1984? (1984). True or false? The mop top was a male hairstyle in the 1960s. It's true. Did you have one? Who served as the President of the United States from 1974 to 1977? Jimmy Carter, Gerald Ford or Ronald Reagan? Gerald Ford. Which movie got the Academy Award for Best Picture in 1995? Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction or The Shawshank Redemption? Forrest Gump. Who was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom during the Falklands War in 1982? John Major, Tony Blair or Margaret Thatcher? Margaret Thatcher. When did John H. Glenn achieve the distinction of being the initial individual to orbit the Earth? 1958, 1969 or 1962? 1962. Which American president implemented the policy of détente with Soviet Union? Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan or John F. Kennedy? It's Richard Nixon. Who directed the 1979 film Apocalypse Now? Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola or Stanley Kubrick? Francis Ford Coppola. Which of these works doesn't belong to Ken Follett? The Big Sheep, The Pillars of the Earth or Eye of the Needle? The Big Sleep. Which African country gained independence from Portugal in 1975? Guinea-Bissau, Mozambique or Angola? Angola. Who played the role of Joanna Kramer in the 1979 drama Kramer vs. Kramer? Jane Fonda, Meryl Streep or Sigourney Weaver? Meryl Streep. True or false? The year 1986 witnessed the occurrence of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. It's true. Which of Rick Astley's 1987 songs is associated with Rick rolling? Together Forever, She Wants to Dance With Me or Never Gonna Give You Up? Never Gonna Give You Up. What was the name of the Soviet satellite that was the first to orbit the Earth with an animal on board in 1957? Sputnik 1, Sputnik 2 or Explorer 1? Sputnik 2. Mount St. Helens, a famous volcano, erupted in 1980 in which US state? California, Oregon or Washington? Washington. How many times is the Empire State Building in New York City estimated to be struck by lightning? 25 times per year, 32 times per year or 28 times per year? 25 times per year. designed the current version of the US flag? Betsy Ross, Robert Heft, or Francis Hopkinson? Robert Heft. Which classic movie features the famous line, "Here's looking at you, kid"? Gone with the Wind, Citizen Kane, or Casablanca? Casablanca. Which astronaut took the ironic Earthrise photograph during the Apollo 8 mission in 1968? Buzz Aldrin, Yuri Gagarin, or William Anders? William Anders. Who was struck by lightning 7 times between 1942 and 1977 and survived it? Robert Wadlow, Roy Sullivan, or Merrill Evans? Roy Sullivan. No multiple choices. In the 1980s, what material was jelly bracelets originally made of? Silicone. What is the correct spelling? So, ostentatious. Which is the correct spelling? 1, 2, or 3? It's the second one, ostentatious. Who is the mythical figure associated with wisdom and warfare in Greek mythology? Athena, Hera, or Aphrodite? Athena. When was Carnation Breakfast Bar introduced? 1993, 1975, or 1982? (1975). Which US state is home to the Great Salt Lake? Alaska, Minnesota, or Utah? Utah. Which of these companies used to serve onion nuggets in the 1970s? McDonald's, Burger King, or Wendy's? McDonald's. True or false? The first Super Bowl took place in the 1970s. It's false. Actually, it was in the 1960s. When was the Sunshine Skyway Bridge opened? April 20th, 1987, October the 10th, 1992, or November the 15th, 1975? April the 20th, 1987. Who was the first African American woman to win the Nobel Prize for Literature? Maya Angelou, Toni Morrison, or Alice Walker? Toni Morrison. Where was Sally Ride born? Malibu, California, Los Angeles, California, or Santa Barbara, California? Los Angeles, California. Is this sentence correct? While reading The Grapes of Wrath, the characters evoke pity. Has a dangling modifier, has a comma splice, is correct. Has a dangling modifier. On which river is Washington, D.C. located? James River, Rappahannock River, or the Potomac River? The Potomac River. When was the band a-ha formed? 1977, 1982 or 1985? (1982). And your last question. In which era was Ralph Lauren's Tuxedo perfume launched? 1990s, 1980s or 1970s? (1970s). So, how did you do on our general knowledge quiz? Drop your score in the comments below, and of course like and subscribe so you can be notified every time we post a new quiz. And join us next time on Quiz Time.